Chapter 6, Aggregate Demand and its component. So question arises, what is the meaning of the aggregate demand? So aggregate demand refers, it is the addition of the complete demand which we produce within 1 year. So aggregate demand is the addition of consumption plus investment. So mainly 4 sector economy is there. So in 2 sector economy, aggregate demand is the addition of consumption and investment. When 3 sector economy, we define aggregate demand is the addition of the consumption, investment and government expenditure. So in 3 sector economy, that particular economy is considered as a closed economy. So how we define the closed economy? Closed economy are those economy where is no international trade. But in 3 sector economy, consumption, it's mean household sector is there, investment, production sector is there, and government sector. But in 4 sector economy, aggregate demand is the consumption, investment, government expenditure, and export and import. So it's mean that particular economy is considered as a open economy. So in open economy, there is the international trade among the nations. So these are the some contents which is the aggregate demand. And second, what is the aggregate supply? So supply within one given year, one finance year. So finance year is start from 1st April to 31st March. But the addition of the aggregate supply in 2 sector economy, consumption and saving, because saving is always equal investment. So aggregate supply, we consume the commodity and save. It is in 2 sector economy. In 3 sector economy, aggregate supply is the addition of the consumption, saving, and third one is government sector, tax. So we consume the commodity, save the commodity, and we pay the tax in 3 sector economy. In 4 sector economy, aggregate supply, it's mean 3 sector economy is the closed economy, but in open economy, aggregate supply is the consumption, saving, tax and import. And in first chapter we discuss about there is some injections. So investment, government expenditure and net export is considered as a injection in the economy because they increase the economy. And what is the leakages? Leakages are considered saving, tax and import. So these are the decline the economy and these are inject the economy. It's mean they increase the economy. If more and more investment is there, more and more government expenditure and net export and saving, tax and import, these are the considered as a leakages. So these are the some point with help of easily we define what is the aggregate demand and aggregate supply, 2 sector, 3 sector and the 4 sector economy. So next we discuss about what is the aggregate demand curve. So aggregate demand curve we define aggregate demand is the income of the person is given, income, and how much there is the aggregate demand. So income 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 and 120, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 and 60. So aggregate demand is the addition of the consumption and investment. So income and aggregate demand. So when your income is 0, consumption never be 0. Consumption, any person, consumption never be 0, because for the survival purpose there is a requirement of the minimum level of consumption. Minimum level of consumption, because for the survival purpose there is a requirement. But when your income is increased, your consumption is increased, but not the same ratio. When your income increase, your consumption never increase in same ratio, because after that there increase in saving. So it is the aggregate demand, and on the basis of the income and the aggregate demand curve, when we make the diagram, so what is the shape of the diagram? The shape of the diagram is like this. We elaborate. Aggregate demand curve, aggregate supply or income curve, and aggregate demand curve like this. It is a consumption and investment. So this point is the point of equilibrium. So on the basis of the shape of the aggregate supply is the 45 degree. So it's mean when we increase the resources, aggregate supply increase in the same ratio, and this one is your OY axis and this one is your OX axis. Here we take the aggregate demand, aggregate supply and level of employment. So it's mean when we increase the level of employment, so what is the impact on the aggregate supply? Aggregate supply increase in the same ratio, so that's why the degree 45 degree. And aggregate demand is the addition of the consumption and investment, and consumption is always start from the OI axis, because on when your income is 0, so near about 30 your consumption is there, and investment is parallel to the OX axis, because it is the autonomous investment. In economy, investment is continuous, so that's why it is an autonomous investment. This is your consumption curve, and the addition of the consumption and investment curve is the aggregate demand curve, and aggregate supply curve is start from origin. So it's mean the 45 degree, and your consumption is always function of your income, and your saving is also function of income. So it's mean when your income increase, your consumption and saving increase. So consumption function, so on the basis of we find out the elaborate the diagram. So tabular projection of the consumption. Next topic we discuss after that. So your income is given 50. Your income is given 0, 50, 100 and 150. So how much your consumption? So when your income is 0, 20, 60 and after that 100 and 140, 100 and 140. These are the assumed. But question arises, your income is 0, your consumption never be 0. But when your income is increased, your consumption is increased, but after that saving also increase. Like saving 20, 10, 0 and 10. So this is the consumption curve, this one is the saving curve, and this is your income. So on the basis of this table, when we drive the derivation of the income curve, so income curve is always start from the origin, it is a 45 degree, and your consumption curve is like this, and in that particular case your consumption is start from 20. So in that particular case your saving is minus 20, and where is the consumption and income both are cut. So where your saving is 0 and this point is the break even point, because income and consumption both are equal each other. So we say consumption is a function of income. So when your income increase, your consumption is the dependent variable. Dependent variable means consumption is depend on income and your income is independent variable. What is the dependent variable? Which value we come from the equation. Independent variable, those values already given. So after that, the elaboration of the table, schedule and diagram, then there is a requirement of the explanation. Explanation of the diagram. In explanation of the diagram, we define which value we take from the OX axis, OY axis, what is the AD curve, what is the income curve, what is the saving curve, and consumption curve. So each and everything we define, we elaborate, and we show the relation, the income, consumption and saving, and find out the result. So after that there is the algebraic form of the consumption curve. So how we define the consumption and the saving curve, we find out. What is the equation of the consumption? Consumption is the equation C bar plus B by. Here C indicate to the consumption and C bar minimum level of consumption. B means MPC. MPC indicate to the how much change in consumption due to the change in income, and what is the Y indicate to the level of income, which we discuss in this particular chapter. And first we define what is the MPC and how we find out the MPC. Listen, MPC we find out consumption curve, and here we take the consumption OY axis, OX axis. Here we take the income of the person. So what is the meaning of the APC? APC means ratio of consumption and income, And what is the MPC? MPC is the ratio of change in consumption and change in income. So it's mean if we find out the income, consumption, new consumption. So this indicates change in consumption. This indicate to the change in income. So change in consumption and change in income indicate to the MPC. So APC is the consumption ratio of the consumption and income. And this one is your consumption curve. The same thing is applicable as the saving curve also. So now we discuss how we find out the saving curve and what is the saving equation. So saving equation we define C bar minus 1 minus by. So here saving as indicate to the saving minimum level of saving, it indicate to the minus, and B means MPC, and MPC plus MPS equal 1. So how you find out the value of MPS? MPS means 1 minus MPC, or B indicate to the MPC. So we write down here 1 minus B, or by indicate to the income level of the consumer. So now how we drive the saving curve? The saving curve is like this. It's mean negative saving, after that 0, then positive saving. So here we take the income O x-axis, O y-axis. So saving and we take income. Your saving is the function of income. When your income increases, you not consume same ratio. After that saving increasing. So this is the saving equation and this is the saving curve, and with help of we find out what is the value of the, and we find out what is the value of saving and income. Ratio of the saving and income indicate to the APS. But how much we find out, how much there is a change in saving and change in income. Change in saving and change in income indicate to the MPS. So we discuss main 2 point. One is the consumption curve and second one is the saving curve, and derivation of the saving curve and the consumption curve with help of the diagram. Now we discuss about the concept of the MPC and APC. It's mean marginal propensity to consume. So what is the meaning of the MPC? So APC and APS, it's mean consumption and income. Average propensity to consume. Average propensity to consume, the definition of the average propensity to consume is, it is a ratio of the consumption and income and saving and income. So it's mean a person income is, you can say, divided into 2 portions, consumption and saving. So for the solution purpose, if we divide both the value, both the side by the same same value, so what is the impact? 1 equal APC plus APS. So it's mean a person income, like for example, a person income is 100 and he consume 80 rupees, so save 20. So it's mean value increase, the ratio is also change. But question arises, when a person income increase, what is the impact on the consumption and saving? Both consumption and saving both are increased. For the solution purpose, divide both sides by the change in Y. What is the impact? So 1 equal MPC plus MPS. So it's mean the addition of the MPC and M plus MPS equal 1. And the definition of the MPC, it is a ratio of the change in consumption and change in income. And derivation of the MPC and MPS, APC and APS earlier we defined with help of the diagram. So in this particular chapter we discuss this point which is related to how we find out the value of APC, MPC, APS, MPS, and what is the break-even point, where break-even point is no loss, no profit point. So propensity to consume, average propensity to consume, marginal propensity to consume, and average propensity to save and marginal propensity to save, and the addition of the APC and APS equal 1. So it's mean a person total income he divide into two part. One is consumption and second one is the saving. But these are depend on the income of the person. If there is a change in income of the person, consumption and the saving both are change. So these are the points which we discuss, and how to find out the APC, MPC. So in this particular chapter, there is some numerical question. Numerical question, how we find out the value of consumption, saving, MPC, MPS, APC, APS. So these are the some point which is required to recall by the students, and one by one solve the question. And complete chapter is based on the numerical portion, and 6th, 7th and the 8th chapter all are interrelated. So that's why there is a requirement to focus on this particular chapter. So I think it is sufficient, it is enough for the first lecture. In next chapter we discuss what is the underemployment, what is the full employment, what is the how there is the derivation of the aggregate demand and aggregate supply, saving and investment. So equilibrium point we discuss, because in microeconomy we discuss equilibrium point on the basis of the demand and supply, and in this particular macroeconomy we find out the equilibrium with help of the aggregate demand and the aggregate supply. So these are the some contents we will discuss in the second lecture. This one is the first lecture because our syllabus is in chapter 6. You can say half syllabus already we discussed, and 7th and 8th chapter we discuss tomorrow. Thank you.